Hi and welcome to Podcast VA Masterclass. We're talking about podcast directories. And for lesson number 1, we're going to focus on how to submit your podcast to Apple Podcasts, which is, of course, still one of the most sought after directories where podcasts should be listed in. So by now, you should already have the RSS feed configured and you're ready to go to submit to Apple Podcasts. Now, the first thing that you need to do is to make sure that you have your browser open with you and go to podcastconnect.apple.com. You just have to fill out the login information and click on the arrow button. Once you are logged in, you will be asked to verify through a two-factor authentication. And this is something you should receive on one of your devices. Say, for example, your mobile phone or any Apple podcast that is connected to your Apple ID. Once you are logged in to the account and you are on the preferred account that you're going to use where you're going to submit the podcast, what you need to do is to just click on the plus button right next to podcast. And here, you have two options, new channel or new show. So it's not a new channel, it's a new show. So I'll just go ahead and click on new show. Also, the show type can be one with an RSS feed, the other one without an RSS feed. So for this one, since we have already set up the show with a hosting provider and have already generated the RSS feed, we'll choose the first one. And then we'll click on next. Okay, so we'll go ahead and grab the RSS feed URL, which I can jump to Captivate and then click on copy RSS feed. And I'll just go ahead and paste it and then click on add. Okay, so right now the show information tells us that it's currently under draft. And it's showing that they're still processing show details. Check back later and then click publish. So if you have used any third-party content where there needs a license, you just have to make sure that you have license to those content. Then you can go ahead and tick the button that says has rights to its third-party content. All right, we'll go ahead and fill out the name. And for this one, of course, I'll just go ahead and put my name. Okay, and my email address. Okay, I'll go ahead and click on save. All right, so you can choose which countries this is actually going to be available. So I'll have it available for all countries or regions and also available for distribution and release the show as soon as it's published. All right, so ratings and reviews, of course, there's nothing in there yet. Okay, so let me just go ahead and refresh. Okay, so now you can see that the art is already showing as well as the other details of the podcast, the description, artist, as well as the episode type. Now we'll just update the frequency. We'll go ahead and choose weekly. And here we also do have the language, show website, the copyright, and the podcast URL. And from this, we can see that this is all good. You can go ahead and click save. And I'll go ahead and click on submit for review. Now we'll just have to wait for the approval. Once this is approved, we should be able to see this in Apple Podcast directory within 48 to 72 hours.